Will your sign disappear in 2026? That's the question that buzzed through the internet, a digital ghost haunting every astrology forum and late-night chat group. For most, it was just another clickbait headline, something to scroll past. But for me, Leo, a struggling astronomer at the Griffith Observatory, it was a terrifying premonition. My life revolved around the stars. Not the celebrity kind, but the real ones, too. The silent, burning giants that had whispered stories to humanity for millennia. I spent my nights mapping constellations, my days explaining celestial mechanics to wide-eyed kids on field trips. My girlfriend, Clara, a pragmatic journalist, would tease me. "Leo, you love those old star maps more than you love me." I'd laugh, but a part of me knew it was true. The zodiac was my heritage, my connection to my grandfather, who first showed me the lion in the sky. The headline first appeared on a fringe blog, citing rediscovered ancient texts and complex orbital calculations. It claimed that a newly discovered gravitational anomaly, dubbed the Shroud, was slowly obscuring a portion of the sky. By 2026, it would completely block the view of a specific region, the region that contained the constellation Ophiuchus, the so-called 13th zodiac sign that astrologers had debated for centuries. The theory was wild. The Shroud wouldn't just hide Ophiuchus. Its gravitational pull would subtly shift the Earth's axis, misaligning our view of the traditional 12 signs, effectively erasing one from the astrological calendar. The article didn't say which one. It just asked the question, letting fear do the rest. I dismissed it as nonsense. A hoax. The math was flimsy. The sources were anonymous. But then, the official reports started trickling in. NASA, the ESA, Roscosmos, they all confirmed the existence of the anomaly. They called it L9, a localized gravitational lensing event. They were careful with their words, using jargon to downplay the public's rising panic. But I had access to the raw data. I ran the numbers myself. Night after night, the observatory humming around me like a metal beast holding its breath. The math worked. The Shroud was real. And it was growing. Panic wasn't just a headline anymore, it was a global fever. The world fractured. Nullers were those whose signs were rumored to be on the chopping block. Virgos, Libras, Scorpios, they became social pariahs. People broke off engagements, businesses refused service. And friendships shattered over something as arbitrary as a birth date. New cults sprang up, worshipping the Shroud as a divine cleanser. Others preached that it was a cosmic reset button. The world was tearing itself apart over a shadow in the sky. Clara was in the thick of it, reporting from the front lines of the chaos. "It's madness! Leo," she'd say over a grainy video call. "You, people are defining their entire worth by these signs. It's like they've forgotten how to be human without them." She was right, but I was too obsessed to listen. My focus was singular. Which sign would disappear? I ran simulation after simulation, my screen a cascade of numbers and stellar charts. The answer was always the same. A cold, hard knot in my gut. It wasn't Virgo or Libra. It was Leo. My sign. The lion. The celestial legacy my grandfather had given me. The news hit me like a physical blow. I felt erased. A cosmic typo about to be deleted. My identity, my connection to my past, to the stars themselves, was about to be wiped from existence. I became a noller at work. Colleagues I'd known for years would avoid my gaze. The kids on tours would point, whispering, "That's the Leo, Thor, the one who's going to be nothing." I stopped looking in the mirror. Who was I, if not a Leo? The confident, proud lion was gone, replaced by a ghost. Clara tried to reach me. "Leo, this doesn't change who you are. You're still the man I love. The brilliant, passionate astronomer." But I couldn't hear her. I pushed her away, consumed by my own cosmic insignificance. I locked myself in the observatory, my only companions, the silent telescopes and the encroaching shadow. My grandfather's star map, framed on my wall, seemed to mock me. The final night arrived. The world held its breath. The vanishing, as the media called it, was set to occur at 3:33 a.m. Pacific Time. Global networks had live feeds from every major observatory. Boys at my station at Griffith, the epicenter of the American watch. The air was thick with a funereal silence. I looked at the live feed from the orbital telescope, my heart pounding a frantic rhythm against my ribs. There it was, a creeping void, blacker than the space around it, slowly eating the stars. It crept toward Regulus, the heart of the lion. My screen filled with a message from Clara. It wasn't a call, just a simple text. Look up, Leo. Not at your screen. Look up for the first time in months. I did. I pushed away from my console, walked out onto the balcony of the observatory, and tilted my head back. The Los Angeles sky, usually a murky orange, was clear. The city had turned off its lights. Millions of people, standing on their balconies, in their yards, on their roofs, were looking up with me. And I saw it, the constellation of Leo, blazing brighter than I had ever seen it. Regulus was a defiant diamond. The shroud was real, yes. It was happening. It was only visible through the most powerful telescopes. To the naked eye, the eye that my grandfather had used, the eye that humanity had used for thousands of years to tell its stories, nothing had changed. The lion was still there, proud and eternal in the velvet dark. Tears streamed down my face. I had been so obsessed with the data, the simulations, the scientific truth, that I had forgotten the human one. The signs weren't just collections of distant gas and fire. They were stories. They were symbols. They were the meaning we chose to give them. A shared map of the human heart drawn onto the cosmos. They couldn't be erased by a gravitational anomaly because they didn't exist in the cold, hard data. They existed in us. My phone buzzed again. It was Clara. See? Your sign isn't gone. Reset. It was never in the sky to begin with. It's in here. I knew what she meant. It was in my passion, my stubbornness, my connection to my grandfather. It was in the stories we tell ourselves to make sense of the universe. The shroud didn't erase a zodiac sign. It revealed a fundamental truth. Our identities aren't written in the stars. They're written by us. 2. I looked out at the city of silent, upturned faces and felt a connection deeper than any star chart could explain. The world had spent a year tearing itself apart over a symbol, only to realize, in the end, that the power of the symbol was ours to command all along. The lion hadn't vanished. It had just reminded me where to find it.